everything's going to get bigger, which means debt is going to get bigger. How concerned are you? Because I hear these doomsdayers on X, they're like, oh my God, we have too much debt. I'm like, bro, that's been said for 60 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there too much debt? And will we have more debt in the future because of this pie growing?
We as individuals or the government, or just the total debt pile altogether?
Well, probably both. I mean, the government.
So all across the board, we'll have more debt. And here's why. Since 1971, when Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard, we are in a pure fiat monetary system. We're in a debt-based monetary system. What that means is that money is created through debt issuance. That's how money comes into creation. So the very fact that the money supply is increasing means that the debt grew, because that's how the money was created. So when you go get a house, a car, a boat loan, that money is created into existence through the debt. So yes, of course, the debt's going to get bigger and bigger because, again, right, that's what it takes to get the money supply bigger. Now, is that a bad thing? Well, I mean, sure, there's a lot of reasons why it's a bad thing. Overall, though, like the nation has what, $37 trillion of debt today. Is that a bad thing? Well, I could argue that if they pay that debt off, it's probably much worse, because that would cause massive deflation if you destroy that debt, right? The money supply always has to continue to grow. So the problem really comes down to how manageable is that debt, right? You used a lot of debt. Is it bad? Well, not if I can manage it properly, right?
Yeah.
I didn't manage my debt properly in 2008. I got blew up. So as long as you can manage it properly. So one, yes, the debt is going to continue to grow at an enormous rate. The CBO shows this amazing chart. It's like a hockey stick through 2050. You can see the debt just going up like that. So yeah, it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah, I think, and you know, this idea that I need to manage the government the way I manage my household, I think it's a bit of a morphed conversation, because the truth is the government's not a household.
Yeah. What I would say about the debt too is, contrary to Dave Ramsey, is you and Robert Kiyosaki, who you guys may not be such good friends with each other, but you both pushed debt. And even Trump was called the king of debt, right? And so you have to understand, when I was a kid growing up, my parents would be like, hey, it's not like we have a money tree. Well, we do. We all have a money tree. It's called the bank.
Exactly.
They'll give us money whenever we want. And so because we're in a debt-based monetary system, not a gold equity system, because we're in a debt-based system, the way to build wealth is with debt. That's the way to do it. Now, you can be Dave Ramsey and you can save your way, but you won't save your way to wealth, because we're not in an equity system. Now, you can save your way to wealth with Bitcoin. You can do it, but that's Bitcoin, which people think is an investment. I consider it savings. But otherwise, we want to use debt.
What is your perspective on like our debt compared to all other countries' debt? Everybody has this problem, right?
Everyone has this problem. The benefit of the United States is we have the world's reserve currency. So we have that benefit there. Obviously, that's shifting and changing, and that's dynamic. And in our lifetime, we'll certainly see that change. But as of right now, you know, we have $37 trillion of debt. One thing that I heard Howard Lutnick say, and I'm sure you appreciate this as a business person, but when Lutnick came in as the Secretary of Commerce, he's like, you know, one thing that we hear about the government all the time is we hear about the total debt, we hear about the debt interest payments, we hear about the debt to GDP, but as a investor, business owner, there's a number that I'm looking for that I've never heard. What's the balance sheet?
Yeah.
Oh, 500 trillion? Like what, 1,000 trillion? Like is 1,000 trillion of balance bad against $37 trillion of debt? Right. So I thought that was a very interesting.
Meaning our assets, our total assets in the U.S. government.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, you asked, is it bad? Right. Yeah, it's bad. 37 trillion. Right now, with rates where they're at, right, we're spending over $1 trillion of debt. It's just debt service alone on the interest, right? So that's a problem. That's money that can go to other places. But at the end of the day, I think it's worse almost if they paid that debt off. That would cause massive deflation. And so we're sort of trapped, which is why really when we look at things, the future is so certain. What is certain is that they're going to have to continue to print money to pay for the deficit. In order to print that money for the deficit, that's going to push asset prices higher. So that goes back to the third reality. The governments cannot stop printing money. So we just understand that. We go long in our positions and we just hold and we don't deal with the short-term volatility.